Production value. Hello, and welcome to another day of me acting as if it is autumn, even though it is sweltering in September outside.
Look, leaves are changing colors.
As some of you may remember, at the beginning of the September of the
Do you remember?
Did my brain just turn off? As some of you may remember, at the beginning of the summer, I made this little homemade sketchbook. And in that video, I was like, hey, we'll probably have a sketchbook tour in, a couple of weeks.
Expect like a little sketchbook tour relatively soon.
One eternity later.
It's been a minute since then. Now it is finally finished. I finished it this past weekend, quite a bit later, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I admit it kind of just turned into a collection of acrylic paintings. I don't know if you can really even consider it a sketchbook at this point, but either way, I'm really excited to show you guys how it came out and the art in it. I think I made some nice improvements to my acrylic painting, so come on, I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright, let's scoot up a bit so that you can actually see. This is the cover of the sketchbook if you didn't watch the previous video. Most of my sketchbooks I tend to paint on the cover of them, but this one I just decided to get a little bit lazy, and I just covered it in some fun stickers that I bought off of eBay. And here's the back. I did the exact same thing there, not a lot to see. It's very, very fun. And I recommend it. Just buy like a pack of 50 stickers and have a field day. Oh, I especially enjoy this duck. Oh, hell yeah! Overall, I'm pretty happy with the construction of the sketchbook itself. It's a little rough around the edges. There's some parts peeling up too, which isn't great, but it's pretty easy to fix. I also tried to round the corners, which turned out okay. I literally sanded them with sandpaper. Craftsmanship. It's not very thick, as you can see.
Oh my god, he on X Games.
So it's not going to take me very long to guide you guys through these pages, but I'm actually excited for that because it means that I can spend a little bit more time talking about my process for each of the drawings slash paintings, and I can talk a little bit more about what I want to improve on. So let's actually take a look at the inside of the sketchbook now. I've done that take like 5 times and I don't like any of them, so let's look inside this thing. I need to move my candles for this part. It's very hot. So this is the first couple of pages. So this floral background was actually printout that I did on the inside covers. It was gonna be the outside cover and then I messed it up, so I made it the inside cover. But I decided to paint and draw on this page too. I just thought it would be fun. And then I painted a random wolf eye and some random, I don't know, this is just a page of random stuff. This girl is kind of cute, but I painted her before I got some thinner paintbrushes, so you can see she's kind of chunky in some areas. The blending's a little messy. See, this little wolf eye was painted with my newer brushes, so I think that looks a lot better in terms of quality than the painting of this girl, but I still like this quite a bit. I also forgot to say that I finished this sketchbook today, so some of the things that I have in here, like now we see this page, this doodle of this little girl here. I did this today. This page is fun. Again, I did this one before I got some of my finer paintbrushes, so it's a little rough in some areas, but it's just a cow being abducted by aliens. I know it doesn't really look like a cow. It looks more like a pig or some kind of a deformed dog, but I thought this would be cute. And then a little farm girl just saying, Bessie? I don't even know if that's how you spell Bessie. I can't spell things. I like the colors over these 2 little pages. I definitely, in the sketchbook, sort of set out to practice my painting and my studies and stuff like that and do less little ballpoint pen things like this, because this is every single other sketchbook I have. I need to work on
character drawing, but more figure drawing, not just doodles with ballpoint pens over and over again. The first 2 pages of this were looking a little bit bare before I went in and added a couple of things. Like this is recent and then this is recent, because before then it was just this and I didn't like how that looked as much. So a lot of my sketchbooking is like trying to get pleasing looking compositions and things that just look nice to the eye. So I generally like this arrangement on these 2 pages. So now we just have some random ballpoint pen doodles. I just spent a few minutes telling you how I didn't do much of that in the sketchbook, but there is some. This is just a girl from Pinterest. I thought she looked pretty cute, so I drew her. I actually like how this came out a good bit. I like the face and the glasses, and I don't know, I like filling in a nice dark background here and there. I feel like that's not something that I do in my normal sketchbook, so taking some paint and doing that here I think made it look nice. And here's just a bunch of doodles of Peter Parker. I put sunflowers all around. I just thought that was cute. It's Tom Holland Peter Parker, so he's looking pretty cute here. I don't know exactly what this doodle is. It's okay. I think I managed to salvage it, but I definitely like these 2 little headshots better than whatever is going on here, but it's okay. It's fine. I was just having fun, and sometimes, like, it's okay to suck a little bit in your sketchbooks. Things don't always have to look super great. I think I strive for perfection a little bit too much, and I try to do finished work, but it doesn't always have to look good. And for these doodles here, I was just looking on Pinterest at some like repurposed electronics, like someone had put a fish tank inside of an old Macintosh computer. I thought that was cute, so I drew it, and someone was growing succulents out of a clock and out of a phone, and I just added a PlayStation controller in there because I actually like how these look a lot like the old PlayStation 3 controller specifically. I just did some doodles here. I don't draw a lot of objects like this, but I think they add a lot of variety to a sketchbook, and I need to practice doing stuff like that, so I did some. And this is just a little drawing of a screenshot from Stranger Things where all of the kids are looking at Dart. Some of these kids look okay. I think Max and Will and Lucas look alright, and then Mike and Dustin are like fine. I don't know, I think I intended to actually paint this and turn this into a study, but I didn't, and I still like how it looks. I feel like it would have been good for me to do a study of something like this, but I just didn't feel like putting that much effort into this page, I guess. Here's a little spread that I like quite a bit. With the space theme, I wanted to draw some space things in here, so I drew like a guy in a spacesuit. I think I used Tyler Joseph's face as a reference for this guy. I don't think it worked out very well, but here's a guy in a space helmet, and then I drew a little alien, because I think aliens are pretty cute, especially little stylized aliens. This reminds me of a doodle that I did back in a sketchbook for Inktober, like a million years ago, where there's an alien on Mars, and the Mars rover is with it. I think it's decently cute. I did this, I think, with a micron pen, so it was fun to sketch with something that I don't normally sketch with. And then this page is somewhat unfinished, it looks like, because I was painting Robin Skinner, Cave Town, and I don't think I ever finished the guitar here, but I kind of like how it looks. But I really like these 2, actually, because this study turned out pretty good. This is a study of, I think, one of his Spotify covers from a couple of years ago. And then this is from his cover that he did with, well, not cover, I think it was the original song. I don't remember what he did it with, but I did study from that photo as well, and I think the skin turned out pretty good here. My skin tones, whenever it comes to the more greenish, grayish, I struggle with that. So I think I did a decent job of capturing the skin tone there. And this is more stylized, but I think it came out like super cute. I'm definitely very happy with it. And then I just drew some cats and some name brand swag, because why not? I don't know what they have to do with the paintings of Cave Town, but they're there. And here's just some random girls from Pinterest. I think these are just some girls that I drew, although I think I referenced these 2 poses off of something. I was just trying to do some slightly more interesting poses than what I normally do. They're still kind of stiff and static, but I like them okay. I like the hair. I like how that came out. And these hands are particularly nice. Like, they're not nice, but I like the boniness. I don't know. I'm really into very stylized hands, and this eye is also quite nice. And here's just a girl that I did a study of off of Pinterest. I remember liking how this came out more whenever I did it. Now that I see it, the eyes are a little wonky, they're a little close together, and I don't know, there's things in this sketch that I could clearly improve on, but overall I think it's pretty nice. Again, I was just having fun. I did do these on vacation, so you know. Now these shoes, oh my gosh, these took me an entire lifetime. So I went on Google and I just looked up a bunch of images of really cute shoes, and I drew some, did some studies, and I really like how they came out, but it took me so long because again, I've been talking about these thinner brushes that I ended up getting specifically for this sketchbook. But as you can see, if my camera will focus, no, will it focus? It focused. These are very fine brushes. I got these off of eBay. They were super cheap, super affordable, and they've been helping me to capture a lot of detail. But before I got these, I was using a much chunkier brush to do the detailed part. And you can see, like, the shoelaces were done with that brush. It's still pretty chunky. So the detailing work in just these few studies of shoes ended up taking me a really long time. But there's also a lot of color blocks in here and everything, and they are fun to do, but I do need to improve on my speed with some stuff like this because it's a little rough. This little portrait is really cute, actually. Again, some girl from Pinterest, but I think she turned out looking really pretty. I like the flower, I like this sort of blue. I wish that I would have gone in here and made that look a little bit cleaner because you can see that this is just smudged on, but I'm sure I just wanted to add some quick color. I don't think it's a huge deal that it doesn't look perfect, but I really like how the colors blend in on these two pages as well. I think that they're pretty nice. Alright, this is one of my favorite spreads in the entire little sketchbook. This is a whole mood in and of itself. I just decided to do some acrylic painting studies on these pages. This is directly referenced from a photo off of Pinterest. This girl is sort of like a punky model. I see her everywhere. She's really pretty. I've painted her a couple of times, but I just really liked how spooky this little image was. I don't know why. I guess I was in a spooky mood whenever I painted this. I painted this with the chunky brush as well, so I'm very pleased with how it came out. The detailing on the face actually ended up looking pretty nice considering I was using a thicker brush. And the detailing on the books and the skirt, I don't know, I think it just all ended up looking really nice even though I was using that thicker brush. And then this I did the other day, actually. I did this doodle of the girl on the skateboard ages ago, but then I just didn't like how it looked, so I wanted to paint over it and add some color. And I added this little cutaway frame of her face and of the hands, I don't know. I was going for some kind of like anime type thing, but I think it ended up looking really nice in the end. I especially like how this came out. The art style is a little weird, but I don't know, I kind of like it. I really like the way the painting and rendering on the skin came out here, and I like how cute her face looks here. It's pretty simple and everything, but I will say I could improve on how I did the lines on her little shirt there and on her fishnets. They're kind of messy. I'm still getting a hang of doing detail work with some of the brushes that I have, because even though they are detail brushes, sometimes the brush bends in a direction that I don't expect, and sometimes it just doesn't function the way I want it to, so I need to learn how to use it a little bit better. But these two pages are some of my favorites, some of my favorite little traditional painting studies I've ever done. I highly recommend just doing little studies off of Pinterest if you get bored, because they make for really nice little spreads. Here are some more acrylic paintings. Here's just a full-on little portrait study that I did in here. I don't know who this model is. I'll probably try to put the reference photo up on camera, but I loved their hair and I loved the lighting in this. I was primarily trying to capture the lighting in this photo because I thought it was really interesting how the light was falling on the face. I tried to capture the redness in the nose and the highlights and everything, sort of the light scattering on the surface of this person's face. And I thought I did a pretty decent job with the face. I think it turned out well. This is the first thing that I actually painted with my newer paintbrushes. I probably should have put more effort into the hair because it's kind of just messy, but I kind of like the style of the hair actually. It's pretty cute. I will say the hoodie and the hands, kind of rushed. It could have used a little bit more attention and work, but you know, it's all a learning experience. I'll practice fabric as I go, but I've mainly been trying to improve on skin and faces and that sort of lighting. Now this little painting, I generally like how it came out, but it looks pretty flat, I have to say. I should have used more of an opaque white whenever I was working on the clouds here. I might honestly go in and fix it at some point because I had already painted something here that was clouds in a landscape and I didn't like it, so I painted over most of that to paint this. And it's a cute little fallish background. You can see my spooky season starting to creep in, but it's still not quite what I want it to be. I do like how the trees came out. I thought that they were really nice. I like the colors. I like the grass and the pumpkins, but the cloud just looks pretty flat, and so does the sky. And you can see the cloud that I painted over, like there's little bits of paint here. It is what it is. I think next to this other painting, having something a little bit more simple allows the viewer to focus more so on this. So I'm actually pretty okay with this, but these little landscape type studies I definitely want to improve on. I don't know what it is about things that are a little bit simpler that just are kind of difficult for me, but this was kind of difficult for me. Now I have mixed feelings about this page, because I really like these, but then this doodle of this person is just kind of a little bit simple. I don't know. I like how the strawberries kind of dress it up, but once again, you're seeing my need to just make everything super complicated and detailed, even though this is a sketchbook. But so this girl, I did a study of her because this outfit is just like super cute and her hair was really, really pretty. But again, I did this with the thicker brush before I got my little fine detail brushes, and the detail in the skirt and the hair and the face really suffered because of it. I don't know how I feel about it. Overall, I like the colors and I like how it came out, but it's a little rough. And then this is just okay. I feel the proportions are lacking a little bit, and I don't know. It looks like something that I would have drawn in the past, and it looks kind of more like an older art style that I had that I'm not super fond of, but I do like the fact that there's strawberries here, and then I painted some strawberries. I'm actually super, super pleased with how these came out. I think they look really nice. At least like the inside of this is nice. This is a little messy. Look at that. Ooh, I need to work on doing actual detailing. And then this is actually a little study of Chloe Moriando whenever she had like dark black hair. It doesn't look a whole lot like her, but that is what this is based off of. And this was actually just a little doodle for a long time, and then I went back and painted over it like yesterday. So you can see that I've improved a decent amount from painting this to this. So I have been working on my face painting skills and my hands and stuff like that. But this is probably my favorite doodle on this page besides these little strawberries. So mixed feelings for these, but I do like them a good bit. I think they came out looking pretty decent. So this is the one page in the entire sketchbook that doesn't have lots and lots of acrylic paint on it. I'm sure I have at least one other, but this I just wanted to use some markers and add some color and do some ballpoint pens. Ballpoint pens. This girl is actually the same girl from the study on the skateboard, I believe, but I saw this picture of her on Pinterest and I just wanted to draw it, and I actually really, really like how this pose turned out. I think the proportions are nice. I think the hands and pose ended up looking nice. It's a good pose. It is solid. And then you have my character Rose here. I think this is a pretty cute drawing of her. The hand and how it is rested on the sword doesn't actually make any sense. I'm struggling to figure out how this connects to this. I think I did something wrong here, but the rest of the sketch is pretty cute. I think she looks nice and determined, and then I just drew the succulent that is sitting on my table here. And then my probably favorite doodle in maybe this entire sketchbook, I drew this picture of Julian Solomita and Kermit that was on Pinterest. I love Julian so much, and Kermit is adorable, so I've been trying to work on less neutral expressions recently, so Julian's little sneer in this photo where he's trying to match Kermit, I think ended up actually looking pretty nice. And it looks a decent amount like Julian too, so I love this doodle. It's super cute. I should have gone in and given his tattoos a little bit more justice, but I'm sorry, Julian, they're just too complicated. I didn't feel like drawing them. Then you have this girl. I really like how this came out, actually. It like doesn't look like my art style. It looks nicer than my art style, but I think that this girl ended up looking super cute. I like doing studies in doodles where I have not a lot of flat black and I have more of a color. So this was really fun to do because of that. And I think this is just some ramen from a Studio Ghibli screenshot, I don't know. I think it ended up looking cute with the colors on these pages. This isn't like a color combination that I use that often, so I think this adds some variety to the sketchbook, which is really nice. Okay, another page that I love. The spread is like really fun and cool because these are all of my Spooky Kids OCs. I drew all of them, although poor Randler is getting less attention as usual. I'm sorry. My poor cat son. He's not a cat, he's a bat, but he is still cat boy. Anyways, my emo son is here getting the most attention as usual. I actually posted this on my Instagram a while back, but will you focus? Thank you. I love the way this little study came out. This is another one of the first studies that I did with my new little paintbrushes, and it shows the amount of detail that I can achieve with those. I absolutely love it. It didn't even take me that long, so I absolutely love this. I was about to say sketch. It's a full-on painting. I really enjoy just full-on paintings in my sketchbook, as I'm sure you guys can tell. And then here's just some watercolor doodles I did of Orchid and Randler, my neglected cat son. And this is a concept that I had been wanting to do for a while. This is Orchid in the forest, and this is sort of one of her dad's henchmen, I would say, or a vessel. He sometimes appears to her in a very creepy form so that he can send her messages and talk to her, and yeah, it's terrifying. But his sort of theme color is green to sort of contrast to her purple color, and in this scene she's just sort of walking in the forest and she sees something behind her, so she gets out her little magic. I have sort of like a Doctor Strange-esque circle going on here, and I did that with a metallic marker, so it looks really cool. And put together, I think that these pages look really nice. I think they look quite spooky. You can see my thirst for spooky season already emerging. So, but yeah, I want to draw my kids more often. I feel like I neglect my OCs a lot, especially, I don't know, I see people like drawing their OCs constantly in their sketchbooks, and then I'm just here drawing people I don't know from Pinterest. So I need to give my kids some attention, because if I don't, who will, you know? So here's another spread that I quite like, although I definitely like this page a lot less than I like this page, but we'll talk about this page in a second. So these two characters here are my characters Aaron and Night from my comic Nightfall, and they no longer look like this because I quite recently designed them in a video on my channel. You should check it out if you're into character design stuff, but this is like what they used to look like. This is a somewhat recent design for Night, like he at least has the scar in the right place.
The scar's not on the wrong side!
But it's still like his hair looks weird, and this for Erin, she doesn't look like this at all anymore. Like the little beauty mark is there, but I guess this is really the only thing that looks like her, and this is her old outfit, so it's okay. I just wanted to do some little marker doodles on this page, I guess, and I think I was trying to cover up something that I didn't like. I do that from time to time. And then that, I just drew a random girl and taped it in. I'm sure I was trying to cover something up here. I'm not even gonna try to take that up because I probably taped it down pretty good. Then I just painted a blue jay because why not? Burbs are really cool. And I think this is actually unfinished. I painted a little robin up here. I think I just need to add a little bit of highlight to the eyes and a couple of other things, so oops. Should probably do that at some point so that this sketchbook can be formally finished. But on this page, I've been wanting to do a study of this picture for a really long time. This is a study of Hayley Williams from a stage photo where she was wearing this really cute outfit where she had like some horns and a Pet Cemetery t-shirt. And I just love it. I think she looked really cute and kind of crazy in this photo, so I wanted to paint it, and I think it ended up looking pretty good, all things considered. I slaved over the face and over this hand for so long, but it ended up looking okay in the end. I especially like how the painting of the shirt ended up looking. I think it looks a lot like the shirt she's wearing. That's because I have this very, very opaque deleter white ink that I use for very bright white spots like that. It's super awesome. I highly recommend it for details like that, but her face I think looks close enough to Hayley Williams. I think the eyes could use some work, but it's nice for what it is for being a little acrylic painting study in my sketchbook. I think it looks pretty rad. I'm definitely a fan. And now we're like already to the end of the sketchbook. It's not very long. I told you guys that this, you know, wouldn't be a very long flip through process. I wish that I had more pages to show you, but you'll just have to wait until next time. But we are kind of ending it with a bang because this little painting of these koi fish might be one of my favorite pieces in the entire little sketchbook. Like, this might be one of my favorite paintings that I've ever done. I just think it ended up looking really nice. It's very detailed. It has a nice flow to it. I tried to really capture some nice colors and some flow. Like, I think this little color palette that I have going on here is pretty nice because the blue and the orange are complementary, and then the purple and the green are complementary, and it just kind of pulls everything together. But you can see that it's like pretty decently detailed and everything got cleaned up. I don't know. It's an actually nice painting. This, I can say, is not a study. It's not a little doodle. This is an actual legitimate original painting, and I don't do a lot of those, so I definitely enjoy this quite a bit. And then on this final page I was feeling pretty lazy, so first off we have a sticker from the sticker pack that I got. I kind of considered drawing a face on here or something, so it would be kind of funny, but I ended up just leaving it like it is. And then I have this little girl that I drew here. I think it looks nice with the colors on this page, but it's kind of a cheapo, like, just something to stick here to fill space. I need to stop doing that. I kind of want to plan out better compositions and better drawings in my sketchbooks instead of just like filling space for filling space. But, you know, this for a first little project, you know, I don't feel too bad about doing stuff like that, but in the future I want to take my time a little bit more and not just put like random garbage sketches in there, because it's just okay. But on this final page we do have a painting of the executive producer, and I think she looks really cute in this painting. Like, look at her little kitty face. Ah. Her ears are massive, but I think it kind of makes her look cuter. I will say, this area, just ignore that, because it doesn't look quite right. But I think the rest of her looks pretty nice. I admit, once again, I was just looking for something to fill up space on this last page, but what better a way to fill up space than to just paint a little painting of the executive producer, because she's a very big part of this channel, you know? She really is my muse. And that's it for the little sketchbook tour. I'm sad that it's over, but I told you guys that, you know, it wouldn't take me very long to get through the sketchbook because there's just not that many pages. But in terms of things that I think I improved on in the sketchbook, I think I definitely improved on faces. I think I painted a lot more, which has been a goal of mine. I really enjoy acrylic painting. I want to get better at it, so this is a nice place to practice sort of small, manageably sized paintings and studies. I think it was a good break from my other bigger sketchbook so that I can now go in and fully focus on finishing up my other like 8x10, because sometimes it's just so big and long and daunting. Quite honestly, a lot of the sketches that I've done in there recently I just haven't been that proud of or that confident in, and many of them will probably get painted over because they're just ballpoint pen sketches. So having a sketchbook that I can say is actually finished where I like almost all of the drawings is nice. It's been sort of a renewal of my confidence in my traditional art skills, because this sketchbook here is just, it hasn't been it recently. It's kind of almost full. You can see that I have something on almost every page. This is kind of a dead zone here, but this is what I'm going to be focusing on finishing up next. But as you can see, it's just so big, I needed a break from it.
Hi, welcome to the end of the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching till the very end. I really appreciate it when you guys do that because it helps out the channel. What am I saying? Wish I could have the excuse of, oh, I've been filming too long, but I've literally been filming for about 10 minutes, so I don't have that excuse. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my little sketchbook tour. Little being unfortunately the key word there. Next time I make a homemade sketchbook, I promise I'll try to make it a little bit longer and a bit girthier. Comment and tell me what your favorite spread from this little sketchbook is. I think if I had to choose one, it would be probably this one. I really enjoy how this came out, and I really enjoyed working on it, so let me know what your favorite spread is. While you're down there, there's this pretty cool thing I think you should check out. It's called the subscribe button, and it is just itching for you to push it. Also like and turn on notifications if you want to. You don't have to. It would be pretty cool though. That is it for me for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and thank you for all of the support, especially recently. We've been growing a lot and it's been really exciting, and it's been allowing me to pursue some other interesting projects that I want to make for the channel, so thank you all so much again. It really does mean the most. Now if you'll excuse me, the sun just came out and it is absolutely beautiful this evening, so I think I'm going to go on like a 3-mile walk. Bye!
A beautiful, dignified, picturesque baby. Hello, baby.
That was a weird meow.